Alright, so the theme for this deck is just to have a whole bunch of bad cards in it, and still try to win, kind of. Spoiler alerts, I lose a lot, but I don't lose all the time. Alright, so final thoughts for this deck. I found out a lot of these really bad cards are kind of broken, like program-wise, like they don't really work. I remember Zone Eater, that was one of the cards I had in here. It just straight up was bugged. It was really annoying. Like it kept trying with Zone Eater. Here, let me just bring it up real quick so I can show you. Zone Eater is this really bad card where if it attacks a monster, it gets destroyed during the end phase of the 5th turn after the attack. So, what the bug was if he was attacked by an opponent's monster, it would also start the timer for his effect, and the timer would just keep going, and it never actually stopped, and it actually continued on into other duels. Like, I started a brand new duel, and I didn't even use Zone Eater, and then it would have, like, the end of turn effect, like, 1 turn has passed for Zone Eater's effect. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to remove this card. I hope it doesn't mess up my replays as well. So that was a shame, because that's a really bad card. I thought that would be fun. I also, in addition to bad cards, I also had to throw in some good cards to kind of maybe win. So, of all the good cards I have in here, I have the Kaiju Engine with Interrupting Kaiju Slumber. I'm trying to remember, I don't think those ever actually won me a match, but they definitely did help a few times. And actually, I don't think I ever used them at all during the few I won. Because there was one match where I just won with Yado, because it's going against Psy-Frames, and I just refused to do anything else except attack. So they eventually just gave up. There's also one where I was able to bring out Goddess, the Sweet Revenge. And here's where a couple of tech cards in here. I'm running The World and Bubble Man because of Goddess, the Sweet Revenge. Basically, if I have no cards in the field, and it's the only card in my hand, and they declare a direct attack, I can destroy as many cards as they control as possible, and then special summon a monster from my deck. So I thought The World would be a really good card because he's kind of... he has a really bad Tails effect, and I can't really use his Heads effect anyway. Plus, he has 3100 attack and defense, so I thought that'd be a pretty good card to bring out anyway, rather than just bringing out one of my Kaijus as a beat stick, which is also an alternative. Or if I brought out Bubble Man, I can draw 2 cards, except this deck doesn't really care about card advantage. So The World was actually a better choice. I did pull off Goddess of Sweet Revenge more times than like the one I show in the video. It's just I used Bubble Man and I just drew like 2 Pot of Generosities or something. So besides Goddess of Sweet Revenge as kind of a win condition, I also have Rank Up Magic, the 7th one. If you draw into this card, that's the only way to activate it. And what it does is allow you to special summon an XYZ monster from your extra deck between numbers 101 to 107, so Arc Honor Knight. And then it allows you to rank it up to a C101, so Silent Honor Dark Knight. And then once I do that, I can just rank it up again into Armored Crystal Lancer. Because whatchamacallit, C101, Silent Honor Dark, you don't have to actually detach any XYZ materials to use this effect. It's just once per turn, you can target a special summoned monster and attach it. And then Crystal Lancer has an effect where once per turn it can negate the effects of all your opponent's monsters. It also gains 500 attack for each XYZ material attached. And if it would be destroyed, you can detach a material instead. So he's a really good card to bring out, and his attack usually goes up pretty high. So with a Rank Up Magic 7th one, I basically get a free Crystal Lancer with like 3 materials, which I thought would kind of help me win maybe. I don't think it ever actually won me the match, and I was able to bring it out a few times, but that's just kind of the thing with this deck. This deck is really brings home the point of card advantage isn't everything if you don't have any cards to take advantage of that advantage. There's also Gamble. I pulled off Gamble way more times than actually shows up in the video. I don't remember, like, why didn't I save those replays? I think I only ever pulled it off once, but I actually used its effect 4 times. And of the 4 times I used it, I got the effect 3 times. I only got it wrong once. So I was actually pretty lucky with Gamble. Gamble, like with all these bad cards, it's actually a lot easier for me to activate Gamble and Goddess of Sweet Revenge, because I usually don't have a field. And I have like no cards in my hand because I'm running triple Humble Sentry and Pot of Generosity. And like Sparks and shit. So also the Gift of Greed, it's real easy to get the conditions for Gamble out. So if I ever drew into it, I was usually able to use it. Unless my opponent was running a deck that just dumps their hand as soon as possible. Also, Red Rocket Express. No, not, why do I keep calling it that? Ugh. Rocket Arrow Express. This is a really bad card, which requires you to have no cards in the field. Then you can special summon it from your hand. You can't attack the turn you use it. You can't set spell or trap cards. And during your standby phase, you have to discard your entire hand. So you basically can't have a hand while you have this card out. And all you get out of it is a 5,000 attack beater. And this card won me half the duels I won. From just having a 5,000 beater out. Mainly because, I don't know, I think I just got lucky those kinds of times. And I wasn't playing against the best decks in the world. But then again, obviously, I wasn't going to win those. Final thoughts. I wasn't able to actually use Symbol of Friendship once, but I wasn't really expecting it to. This one's a little bit harder to pull off than 7th One or Goddess of Sweet Revenge or Gamble, which is entire deck, and its negative advantage kind of allows me to use the easier than a normal deck would be able to. And I had a lot of fun playing this deck, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I lost a lot, but man, was it fun pulling off a Gamble or a Goddess of Sweet Revenge or using the 7th One. It was like anime battles or something.